Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mental Golf Show. As always, I'm your host, Josh Nichols. I have been a golf mental coach for 6 years, and I've been playing competitive amateur golf for over 20 years. And on today's episode, I want to talk about Scottie Scheffler. As the name of this episode implies, I want myself and you to be able to learn how to play golf like Scottie Scheffler, how he's able to do what he's able to do. Now, Scotty is probably getting to a level of unrelatability. He's an indisputed number one in the world, of course, for weeks and weeks and months and maybe years now. I actually didn't look this one up, but some of the crazy numbers, I've got two. I was listening to the No Laying Up podcast where they were recapping the Open Championship, and they listed several mind-blowing stats, but a couple that stood out to me just from a results standpoint. He's won 4 out of the last 16 majors, so that's 25. He's won 25% of the last 4 years of majors. That's insane. He's also made $82.1 million in the last 17 months alone. And what they said on No Laying Up was from the time that he switched to his mallet putter, he has made $82.1 million. It's absolutely bonkers. I can't even, money isn't everything, but that just as far as an amount someone could make in a lifetime, in 18 lifetimes, let alone 17 months, unbelievable. But I think we can still learn from him. Just because he's outrageously great at golf, he seems to hit every shot where he's looking. He doesn't. He's still human, and he still has qualities that, not as ball striking. You and I will never be able to hit the ball like Scottie Scheffler. We probably can't get up and down scrambling like Scottie Scheffler. We can't drive it as straight or as far as Scottie Scheffler. And I don't know, some of you guys can drive it as far. I don't know if most can drive it as straight, as consistently, and as far as Scotty. I don't know if we can even putt as well as Scotty lately. I mean, he was I think ranked second in putting in the Open Championship. So the actual skills of his game, the driving approach, short game putting, those things, kind of unrelatable still. I mean, those are the things that add up to his score. But this is the Mental Golf Show, so there are aspects of Scotty that we can learn from, that are relatable, that are human. They're normal human things that he does that we can do better. And in fact, what makes him so impressive and good at golf is that his mentality is more human than most. As contradictory and paradoxical as this sounds, or as it could be, you would think the more locked in and golf focused and everything's about golf, you would think that mentality would lead to better golf. But in fact, there's a paradox to it. The lighter, the less tight you hold golf, the tighter the grip on golf you get to have. The less you care about results, the better the results you get to have are. So Scotty goes that direction. He kind of goes the opposite of what we might traditionally think of as great golf mental skills, and goes in a much more human direction. So enough about that. I want to go through Scotty's press conference from, I think it was Wednesday of the Open Championship. Everyone's been talking about it. You've probably heard about it. You've probably heard about it on Golf Channel or other podcasts or Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It's gone viral basically. This press conference that he did, and he's talking about his relationship with golf and how he thinks about things. And there's been conjecture about it, opinions about it, people agreeing, people disagreeing, people calling him entitled, and people, praising him for it. So there's all these opinions, as happens in today's culture. It's very polarized opinions on this one guy's press conference, which is just crazy. But maybe as far as polarization goes, maybe I'm on one side or the other. But I want to go through his press conference because I don't know if anyone's actually kind of got it just right. I've seen some bits and pieces from some people. Trevor Immelman on the Fried Egg Golf Podcast, he did a really good job. Him and Andy did a really good job of kind of summarizing the kind of things that he was saying. But even they didn't quite get it right, I don't think. So I just want to take us through the transcript of the press conference, and I want to add some of my commentary to it. I want to read through it, the kind of Q&A that it was, and his really long answers, actually, which is uncharacteristic for him. And I want to pop in with some of my own commentary so we can maybe learn from it, glean some good info from it. So, yeah, let's get into it. So the questioner from the press, he asked this question. You talk about the show goes on, which it does. What would be the longest you've ever celebrated something? What was the most crushing loss or the time it took to get over one? And Scotty now says, I think it's kind of funny. I think I said something after the Byron this year about like it feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for like a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that kind of euphoric feeling. To win the Byron Nelson Championship at home, I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have an opportunity to win that tournament. You win it, you celebrate, get to hug my family, my sister's there. It's such an amazing moment. Then it's like, okay, what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. And this is Josh popping in now. I've experienced this. I have, not to Scotty's level, but in the 2017 U.S. Mid-Am, I made it to the finals. That there was a ceremony of giving me the silver medal and giving Matt Parziale the trophy and the medal and whatever. And I told a little speech, and it was like there was some fanfare, but my girlfriend was there, my parents were there, my girlfriend's friend was there, and it kind of just ended. And no, I didn't win, right? I don't have that euphoria of winning to compare to Scotty, but I mean, I was at like the height of Mid-Am amateur golf. So, I mean, a USGA championship, I was in the finals, I was in the, kind of press conference afterwards, the ceremony afterwards. So I had that euphoria, believe me. But then I hugged my girlfriend. We got in the car. We drove the 8 or 10 hours back to North Carolina, and we stopped at a gas station on the way. We like bought a chili dog from the gas station. It was incredibly normal, right? I worked so hard to nearly win that tournament, and then it's over. And yes, I've been talking about it ever since, and I still love that feeling, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, round of golf is over. Well, what's for dinner? We got to get in the car. We got to drive back. It's over. So just my little experience with Scotty. Maybe you've had the same. Maybe you've played well in a club championship, or just like the Saturday game you won and you got the money from the other person and you felt awesome. You made that putt on the last hole. You get the $20 and okay, what's next? Okay, I got to get in my car. I got to go home. I got to go take a shower and go to bed. Like that's what he's getting at here. So I think we can all relate to that on some level. Okay, let's get back into Scotty. Is it great to be able to win tournaments and to accomplish the things I have in the game of golf? Yeah, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about, because I've literally worked my entire life to be good at this sport. to have that kind of sense of accomplishment, I think is a pretty cool feeling. To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not out here to inspire someone to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest places of your heart. So what stands out here, obviously, is him calling this is not a fulfilling life. That's a pretty bold statement from someone who's made $82.1 million and won several majors and yada, yada, and is the best in the world at what he does. It's a pretty radical statement to say this is not a fulfilling life. But for him to say, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers, I'm not out here to inspire someone to be the best player in the world, because what's the point, is what he says. What he's getting at is, why would I inspire people to live for something that doesn't ultimately fulfill? And a word he uses here in a little bit is doesn't ultimately satisfy. So he's not saying everyone needs to pursue this. This is amazing, and it's everything that I thought it would be, and everyone out there needs to get this feeling, so I'm going to inspire you to do your best. He's not there. He doesn't, that doesn't move the needle for him. So really, really interesting stuff there. And a lot of people on that platform would want to inspire the next generation, would want to inspire others to work hard and achieve success. And he's saying that's just not fulfilling. This golf top of the world experience is not ultimately fulfilling. So back to Scotty. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life, and you get there, you get to number one in the world, and they're like, what's the point? I really do believe that, because what is the point? Why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for 2 minutes. Then we're going to get to the next week. Hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And we're back here again. So that's actually, people think this is kind of Scotty's, like the first real time that he's talked about this, but he talked about this after he won his first major, 2022 Masters. And he basically said, yeah, I don't find my identity in golf. I find my identity in my faith. My real priorities are my family and my friends and my faith. And something that stuck out to me from that I still remember was, it was basically, I could win this tournament, I could lose. Either way, I'm the same guy. I'm going to go home. His wife's name is Meredith. I'm going to go home with Meredith. We're going to live our lives. I'm going to drive the same car. I'm going to be the same guy. And I think I remember some other time later, he said, someone asked him, what'd you buy with the winnings? I think he said he bought a new lawnmower or something. So he lives this out. He's lived this, and he's talked this way for a long time. So that's not inconsistent with who he is. He's been talking this way for a long time. So back to Scotty. So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments. I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love getting to practice. I love getting to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point. And it says there was laughter in the press. I don't know if I'm making any sense or not. Am I not? It's just one of those deals. I love the challenge. I love being able to play this game for a living. It's one of the greatest joys of my life. But does it fill the deepest wants and desires of my heart? Absolutely not. So we're getting into what I think is the relatable mental game aspect of this kind of spiritual undercurrent. And I say spiritual like it's a religious thing, like it's a Christianity thing, which Scotty is outspoken about being a Christian. But this spiritual nature of who am I on my deepest level, and does golf fill that void? Does it Does it fill up my cup, as it were? And he's saying absolutely not. And we might get into this a little more later too after we get through the transcript, but what I think is the biggest takeaway from all of this is the performance benefits of this mentality. So when you, the opposite of Scotty, when you believe golf is everything, winning is everything, the most important thing to me is getting that trophy. All I want to do, all I'm here for is to win. And why would I show up to a tournament if I wasn't trying to win the golf tournament? And Scotty might say something similar to that, but I don't know that I've ever heard him say that. But if that's what you say, then every golf shot is vitally important to you. Every round, every score you shoot, every result, wherever your name is on the leaderboard, that determines how you feel about yourself. That determines your level of joy and happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment. Is if it's tied to results, then you as a person will come and go, will go up when results are great and down when results are bad. And that is an extremely fragile place to be if you're always living and dying by results. So Scotty's version of that is the results, this getting to the number one in the world, winning multiple majors, all this money, whatever, it doesn't fulfill me. I don't attach my identity to that. I don't need these results in order to feel good about myself. And the performance benefit of that, as paradoxical as it is, results don't define me. It actually gives you better results. It gives you an opportunity to have better results because now you're not gripping results so tightly. You're not hinging, living and dying on every golf shot. And if you're not living and dying on every golf shot, then you're not swinging scared of bad shots. When golf shots define your identity, and if they're good golf shots, then you feel good as a person. But if they're bad shots, then you feel bad as a person. You're going to swing scared of bad golf shots. And that's not just the best players in the world who have millions of people watching them. That comes down to us by ourselves in our own heads. Is if I feel better about myself when I hit good shots and I feel worse about myself when I hit bad shots, I'm going to swing scared of hitting bad golf shots. There will be a level of fear there that cannot be denied. So Scotty's version is, it doesn't fulfill me. It doesn't satisfy me. I can hit a great shot. I feel the same as if I hit a bad shot. So he's not swinging scared, right? And no one does this perfectly. I'm sure he swings with some fear and some tension sometimes. But, you watch him play golf, the guy swings freely. And there are some timid swings, there's some hold-on swings that he talks about, but those are probably more technical. His mentality, the posture, there's you've maybe heard the phrase, the posture of his heart, the place that he comes from an inside standpoint, allows him to let go of these results, to swing freely. That's what the real performance benefit is for this. So let's keep going. He gets another question from the press. They said, "What do you find fulfilling?" And he says, "I love playing golf. I love being able to compete. I love living out my dreams. I love being a father. I love being able to take care of my son. I love being able to provide for my family out here playing golf. Every day when I wake up early to go put in the work, my wife thanks me for going out and working so hard. And when I get home, I try to thank her every day for taking care of our son. That's why I talk about family being my priority, because it really is. I'm blessed to be able to come out here and play golf, but if my golf ever started affecting my home life, or it ever affected the relationship I have with my wife or my son, that's going to be the last day that I play out here for a living." Wow. So that's telling you right there, golf is not the top. And he goes on to say, "This is not the be all end all. This is not the most important thing in my life. That's why I wrestle with why is this so important to me? Because I'd much rather be a great father than I would be a great golfer. At the end of the day, that's what's more important to me. And Scotty's talked about this before, where he would say, why do I want to win so bad? I wish I didn't want to win so bad. I wish I wasn't as competitive. He has said that before, because you've seen him when he plays bad or plays good. He's into it, right? He's emotional. He gets frustrated and angry and borderline whiny, but he also has these big celebrations after the tournament's over. So clearly he wants it. So no, he is not perfectly, I don't care about results, but he has talked about for years how he wishes he didn't want it so bad, how he wishes he wasn't as competitive, how he wishes he didn't need to win so bad. So this is something he's talked about for a while. It's this inner conflict that he has of trying to decrease the importance of golf in his own life. So he knows that he's doing this and he's trying to decrease it. He knows that it can get too important in his life, that it starts fulfilling him a little too much, and he tries to decrease that and prioritize other things, which is just fascinating that he has that self-awareness and is also trying to work on that. So the guy in the press asked another question. That's why I asked the question the way I did. What is losing like for you? Is that okay? I think is what he says. Scottie Scheffler says, it sucks. I hate it. I really do. And then that was his answer. So the questioner says, that's part of the competition. And Scotty says, that is. And I think that's why we try to work so hard to not lose. But golf's a game where you just lose a lot more often than you win. That's just a simple part of it. In basketball or football, when there's only two guys out there, you can win a lot more than you lose. I think I was looking at stats. It was one of the best tennis players. It was stats about the best tennis players. It might have been Federer or Djokovic or somebody. They only won like 48% of their points or something like that. Playing professional sports is a really weird thing to do. It really is. Just because we put in so much effort, we work so hard for something that's so fleeting, it really is. The feeling of winning just doesn't last that long. When I sit back at the end of the year and try to reflect on things like having that sense of accomplishment from winning the Masters tournament, from winning the PGA Championship, I have a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for it. But it's just hard to explain how it just doesn't satisfy, is how I would describe it. It's an unsatisfying venture. And finally, he says, I guess what I'm trying to say is this is not the place to look for your satisfaction. This is something where you can have a great appreciation for and a great amount of thankfulness for being able to do this. Like I said, it's literally one of the most fun things I can do in my entire life. I love being able to come out here and compete. But at the end of the day, it's not what satisfied me. If that makes sense, is what he says. So it's just such a human answer. And what we can take away from this is his relationship with the game is in such a healthy place. And he's trying to make it healthier. He's got his ducks in a row. He's got his priorities in order. And not everyone's the same. Not everyone wants to be like this. Other people find things more satisfying, more fulfilling, whatever. But I think from a performance standpoint, to be able to hold the game more loosely, to be able to lower the importance of winning for yourself, raises the amount of acceptance you have for bad shots, for bad results, for failure. And if failure is acceptable to you, then you're not going to swing scared of failure. You're not going to swing scared of results of a bad golf shot. You're not going to putt tentatively because you're worried about three-putting it. You're going to hit the putt how you want to hit the putt because you're not worried about three-putting it. You'll make the comebacker. Okay, I missed that one. Okay, I'll make that one. I'll tap it in and I'll move on to the next tee shot. That is a healthy relationship with the game, in my opinion. That's a more sustainable, consistent way to relate to the game of golf. And I think it allows your performance to be better. So you kind of have to let go of golf in order to get golf. You have to let go of results in order to get results. So I think our takeaway here is for us to work on, over time, having a better relationship with golf results, being able to hold them more loosely. You know, we want them. We are vigilant to try to get them. We're on this process and journey of improvement, of kind of self-realization, making ourselves better. And that's an awesome process. But at the end of the day, okay, the result is what it's going to be, what it's going to be. I'm going to go out there and give it my best. And that's what matters to me. And if I win, awesome. If I lose, that's okay. I'm going to just keep going. So I think that's what we can learn from Scotty here. I think he's just a fascinating character. He's, on the one hand, he's boring. On the other hand, he's deep and fascinating. On the one hand, he's, again, boring. On the other hand, he wins almost every time he goes and plays. It's crazy. So it's just, it's so different watching him play and listening to him talk compared to maybe everybody else. There's some people that kind of touch on his mentality a little bit. Xander Schauffele comes to mind. But most people are, this is too strong of a term, but they're addicted to results, right? They're satisfied and fulfilled by results, or they're always striving to fill that void inside of them with results. So I think we can all do a better job of working on our relationship with golf, with our relationship with results. I know I can. I'm looking in the mirror as much as I am talking to you guys about this. So I hope that's insightful. Yeah, I'm excited to keep learning from Scotty and keep watching him dominate. It's really cool. Okay, if you like this, you will like my weekly newsletter, The Mental Regrip. Go to joshnicholsgolf.com/newsletter to go sign up for that. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you guys in the next one.